I really cannot believe it. After one long journey across 2025, GB3 is now reaching its final chapter. Hello everyone and welcome back to the leading single-seater championship in the UK. But we've got a bit of a twist. We're not in the UK. That's been the case across a few of our rounds. We are here at the Temple of Speed at Monza. What a venue to wrap up our 2025 GB3 season. We are all preparing. We've got a bit of a pre-show for you, and we'll also have a post-show later on. But one more race remains, and it's the reverse grid race as well, meaning it is all to play for. But first of all, if you weren't with us this morning, first of all, where were you? There was so much action. Let's go down and hear from Lewis McGlade, who is going to tell you a little bit about what actually took place in that contest as well. So let's go down and listen to the highlights of what happened in the morning race, race number 2.
DC was Ninovic leading from pole position on the race down to the first corner. Unfortunately, a poor start for the likes of Patrick Huizenrode. Keanu Alazari starting from 20th, got squeezed out a little bit in the back of the field, and then a whole host of lockups into the opening corner. But there was even further drama behind. Unfortunately, a bit of a crash there for Patrick Huizenrode into the side of Reza Seaworthen, and also further retirements. Newman Chi also out of the race in the opening corner. That would cause a safety car once we got back racing. It was Noah Lyle in the race lead, but the drama wasn't done yet. A couple of spins as they would work their way through the Rogia, and also some drama as they would work their way into the opening corner. Unfortunately, a bit of contact between Bart Harrison and Isaac Phelps would leave Harrison in the gravel trap and will require another safety car. Whilst we were waiting for that safety car to come out, this was happening. Bit of a push off of the road from Kabir Anurag, and unfortunately a bit of contact with the barrier from Rem. That would cause his retirement from the race, and August Raber would have this moment, bit of a lock-up into the final corner and into the barrier as well. That would leave Deegan Fairclough in the race lead. He was trying to check away from the two roaders behind that were battling amongst themselves, Pradel and of course Ninovic. There was a spin, a bit of contact from the rear end of Lucas Lucia into the back of Kai Darianani, and the two of them would spin round, and unfortunately would be, sorry, it was Noah Lyle, and unfortunately the two of them would basically be dropped down to the rear end of the field. For Deegan Fairclough though, it was an excellent victory for the first time.
Thank you very much, Lewis McGlade. Probably one of the hardest ones you've ever had to do in terms of highlights after a race. That was ludicrous. I wouldn't say the most action-packed race we've ever seen in GB3, but I mean, probably one of the more crazier ones as well. So this is absolutely extraordinary. Let's go down now and listen to Deegan Fairclough, our race winner, and let's hear from him about what he had to say after that race.
To finally get a win at the end of the season is mega. All the lows have definitely come out now today. But yeah, I'm really pleased. Everyone, the support from Rocket, everyone at High Tech, I'm super pleased.
After having the record-breaking season you had last year, it must have been a real emotional roller coaster to come in and not initially get those wins, and now that, as you say, it's happened.
Yeah.
You can go into the final race of the season later on today, and I guess a huge load off your shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to win all season, and finally, before the last race, which is a reverse grid. So a lot of weight lifted off the shoulders, but I'm just super pleased. It was a tough race, really good hard racing as well between Alex and Noah and Pradel. Yeah, I'm a bit speechless, to be fair. I've just miss this feeling. I absolutely love it, and the team deserve it massively.
I'm almost getting a little bit sick of talking to you, but it's fine. Obviously you didn't get the race win there, but you're pushing all the way. Kind of tough conditions to get tyre into the heat into the tyres, because I mean it's early here, it's cold, and we still saw some great racing even though we had safety cars galore.
Yeah, it was a good race to obviously start on pole. We made it. Everyone made a little mistake in turn one, so that was a bit unfortunate. And then from there, obviously the safety cars made it interesting for the restarts, as well as battling with Deegan and JBMotorsports at the front. So that was quite nice. And yeah, coming home second is quite good. And yeah, I'm happy with the race. To be battling at the front, having a bit of fun out there. Last day of the year is quite nice.
Yeah, you have the last race of the season coming up. It'll be the last time for you in this GB3 car. Are you going to miss it?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna miss it. It's a real nice car to drive, especially my one. It's quite fast, so yeah, it'll be sad, but also enjoying it at the same time.
Fun little battle out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, decent little hack. I mean, race was good overall. Pretty happy with how it ended up. You know, around Monza, you always got to play 2 steps ahead, so I wasn't being too aggressive with any of the racing, just because there's so many overtaking opportunities. If something else happens, it can all kick off. Ended up on the wrong side of this battle, but yeah, still really happy with the result, and really good for the championship.
Another great podium for Rodin with Gianmarco Pradal, a little bit overshadowed this season by Alex Ninovic's teammate, but has had consistent podiums throughout the season. That team is incredibly close together. We were just walking through the paddock earlier on towards the GB3 truck, and I saw Abby pulling in the distance, grasping some wood, and I ran over to her, and we ended up seeing what it was, and it was a gift from Gianmarco Pradal, Australian wood, and he'd had it carved with a message to his teammates, and he'd given it out, one of these out to all of his teammates and everyone in the team, and it's a really nice memento, and it's nice to have such team spirit in such a successful team.
Do you know what? I actually haven't seen that before. One of the drivers giving little presents to all the teams. I'm sure it's happened, behind the scenes, but it was a really nice little memento for all the team members to have, and yeah, it shows that the camaraderie of the team is right there, and that's potentially part of the reason they've been so successful taking the teams and drivers championship this year. Yeah,
they're very, very close, actually, Gianmarco and Abby, and it's actually painted the top of it pink because the highlights on her car are pink as well, so it's really personalised, which I really like. She'll really treasure that gift from Gianmarco. So it's been a fascinating weekend so far, and we saw some great racing earlier on, and Abby was massively involved in that, coming fifth, equaling her second best result from earlier on this year. Of course, she was on the podium at one of the races in Brands Hatch, and Piers caught up with her after the race to see how she was feeling.
Abby, that second race was pretty mental out there from the commentary box, but was it the same in the car?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty hectic. I'd actually planned out before the race. I knew it was really cold. I was going to go to the inside line no matter what, even though I started on the outside, and stay out of trouble, let everyone lock up over there, and yeah, me and my teammate were lying astern and just dodged all the carnage, to be honest.
Well, you predicted it pretty well. Pretty much everyone locked up. I think all four of the top four drivers pretty much didn't make the first corner. Then the drivers in fourth and fifth came together. That was part of the reason you made so many positions in that race, but it was still a good race from yourself as well. I mean, to get up that high, you must feel pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday, other than the last lap my teammate got me, I was the fastest driver. I set the fastest lap, second fastest in the end, but yeah, the pace is all there. I mean, yeah, qualifying, need to start sorting out in that, but yeah, I mean, it's so many positives. The racecraft's been good. I mean, fortunately let car pass with a little lockup, but it was like driving on ice out there this morning. It was really, really tough stuff, so I'm not surprised. It was a bit messy from everyone, but yeah, it was good fun as well. Yeah,
track temperature almost half of what it was yesterday, and that really made a difference out there, did it?
Yeah, and all the braking zones they look shiny. I mean, it's when they're shining, it's cold and it's dewy. It's not ideal. So yeah, every time we all hit the brakes, it was either the rear or the front going, which is not ideal here at Monza when you're approaching at 260 kph. But yeah, it made for some great racing for sure. I mean, there was a lot of safety cars, so I don't think I've done as much weaving in my life, to be honest. There was a lot of weaving there, but yeah, I'm happy with that. It's shaping up to be a good weekend, but still another race to go.
And let's talk about that last race. We often see the reverse grids are pretty tasty out there. We've had a pretty tasty race too, so I'm expecting fireworks in that third one. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting at the front. I think P4, maybe if there's penalties, maybe further up, I don't know, I have no clue. But it was a pretty hectic race, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was something getting thrown out somewhere. But yeah, I mean, starting at the front, so I want to finish at the front for sure, and end the year on a high. But I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. It's been working, and yeah, showing really great racecraft, and yeah, putting the boys through their paces, which is good. And yeah, I mean, here it's hard to, when you're in like a 1 or 2 car slipstream, to really make the difference. So we'll try our best and see what happens.
Of course, last race of the season, you've worked really well this year. You've enjoyed the year so far, I think, despite the ups and downs. Just a word on, you've worked with the team, you've really enjoyed this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's fluctuated a lot this year for sure. I mean, we started on such a high and then down a little bit, but yeah, this weekend has been, yeah, I think another high. It's been one of my best finishes, P5. I think it's one of my best finishes of the year, so that's really nice, clawing back into the P10 of the championship. So after the start of the year, I don't think I'd have thought I'd be there, which is nice. And the team, I mean, they're just an incredible bunch. They're so dedicated, and the support they've given me is huge. From Ricky and David, Ben, the mechanics, and my mechanic Danny really puts some work in. I'm glad that I didn't give him much work after that race, because there's a few that are working overtime in this paddock at the moment. But yeah, they don't mind going to bed late and waking up early to make sure our cars are on track.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on a good season, even though there's been some difficulties, and we'll see how you go from the front of the grid in that last race of the year.
Thank you very much.
Great to hear from Abby. It's been fantastic having her in the championship this year. She always gives Piers a little bit of stick, actually, because you were driving the new car for next year, and Abby sent me a message saying, can Piers handle it? And as a former British F3 driver, as it was called back then, I think you took that a bit of offence.
Well, no offence. I think you'll find I did handle it. There was a small mishap. That didn't quite make the final edit, but that's okay.
It will never be seen by anyone apart from the group chat. Great to have Abby around, and she was involved in a really cool battle with Keanu Alazari. Keanu Alazari, serious overtakes. If he does that in the reverse grid race, he's going to be making up some serious points this afternoon.
Oh, outstanding race. Probably one of the drives of the season from Keanu Alazari. Despite the fact that a few cars, didn't finish the race, so he gained some positions by default, he still actually overtook, I think, 5, 6, 7 cars on circuit, came to the field. He said to you, didn't he, yesterday? In fact, I'll touch on it in a minute, but he said to you yesterday, I can get in the top 5. I wasn't so sure.
Well, look, he was fourth in the end, pushing Abby, with Abby pushing him all the way even, and Piers did catch up with him, and I think he was very impressed with himself.
Keanu, you chatted to John yesterday, and you said, from the back of the grid, I reckon top 10's well on, top 5 potentially there. I'm going to be honest, I thought you were being optimistic. Yeah. Turns out you know far more than I do. Fourth place in the end, that's a one hell of a drive.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. Like I said, definitely knew it was in there yesterday. Yeah, you could say it was a little bit optimistic, but it is also a little bit realistic because I went and did it the next morning. So yeah, I can understand why you would think it is optimistic, but honestly, the car felt really good. The team has been doing a great job. Congrats to Deegan for winning the race as well. I think it's well deserved after all our hard work. But yeah, I really enjoyed myself in that one.
I bet you did. Let's talk about some of those moves, because we didn't catch all of them. We were concentrating largely on the battle for the lead, but clearly you made some positions where people were going off, but you also had to make some moves on the road as well.
Yeah, I took advantage of all the situations very well. I just kept myself calm and collected, assessed what was going around and ahead of me. I mean, at one point there was a car upside down in front of me, so yeah, it was genuine carnage. But I stayed out of trouble, picked off the moves one by one, tried to keep the rhythm of the race going, and it definitely worked out very well.
Yeah, John chatted to your dad yesterday as well, and he said that it was unfortunate you didn't get to keep all of the positions you gained on the first start. You didn't need to this time. In fact, if anything, today's start wasn't the best, was it? You got sandwiched and had to drop back and entered turn 1 last. Still managed to come through.
Yeah, I mean, I had a really, really good start, to be honest. The car behind me, I think, did a little bit of a jump start. So yeah, I got sandwiched. I said I'd rather complete the race than take this risk. Hit the brakes, entered T1 in last, but came out of T1 like 5 places up. So yeah, everything just worked out well, and I kept my nose clean. I looked around, and that was about it. Came from last. I gained about 8 places on lap 1, and just carried that forwards. I was happy there wasn't another red flag though.
Absolutely, because otherwise you would have had to give them up again. I suppose at that point you would have been quite angry. It must be really good to have such a good result right at the end of the season. We've still got 1 race to go, of course, but you've already said that you're going to be racing with High-Tech again in the future. You work well with the team. To end the season strong must be giving you good confidence going into next year, whatever you end up doing.
Yeah, definitely. It's just enjoying myself, being in the car. Sometimes I'll have a tough weekend, sometimes you really enjoy it, and I think it's just one of those weekends. Obviously, we had a big setback in qualifying, but it's always going to be interesting when you're starting in the back. I can experiment at my own will, and that's exactly what I did. Put it all together this morning. And yeah, it shows the team that I am capable of doing these things. I always have been. Coming through the field was never an issue for me. Monza allows for some great overtaking. I really enjoy the circuit. And yeah, at the end of the day, all I did was get in the car and drive as I always do.
Well, Keanu, bad news is you have to go from the back again, but we know you can do it. So last race of the season, I suppose you're going to give it your all.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'm actually looking forward to it. I got some better tyres as well for the last race. Pick up some overtaking points, maybe get a few positions up in the championship. But no, I'm just going to go and enjoy myself.
I'll keep an eye on the pink car.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Keanu Alazari, expecting another great drive for him to end the season. And just behind that battle with Keanu and Abby pulling was Kai Darianani with JHR, and not a great qualifying for him. We were watching qualifying with his driver coach Mike Epps, and he was frustrated with a tiny mistake, how a tiny mistake can really set you back. And yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it, as a driver, you've got to put together a lap and hope that no one gets in your way. There's so many variables, but you were impressed by Kai in that last race.
No doubt. He kind of well, he made, I think it was 8th place in the end, started 14th due to that small error in qualifying, and it shows how important qualifying is, even at a circuit like this. We've just spoken to Keanu, clearly he's bucked the trend, but generally you race where you qualify. Kai didn't execute, didn't all get things quite right this year, and I think that's it. I mean, we'll talk to him in a moment, but that's his summary of the year, is he's been close, he's had good speed, but maybe not executed exactly every single session, but still he made the best of that race, stayed out of trouble and managed to gain 8 places for one of his best drives of the season, I'd say.
Feels like one of those drivers that if he was to come back next season, and we don't know whether he will be or not, that's all up in the air I guess, he would come into it knowing a lot more. He's learned so much this season and would have a much stronger start to the season and hopefully a much stronger campaign.
Absolutely, no doubt. I think if he came back next year as a full second-year driver with the experience he's gained this year, he'd be a front runner, potentially even a championship hopeful if he came back with JHR, because we know that JHR can put in a championship challenge. We've seen it with John Bennett in years gone by, Joseph Loke. He's gained a lot of experience this year. I think he's on the up in terms of his performances throughout this season, and all those little errors that you make over the year in your first year in a championship, you can just eradicate, and you've kind of done them. So then if he comes back again next year, you know, he knows how the qualifying session will go with the tow, with the positioning of the cars, all the other little mistakes. You just polish it, and then those are the differences between drivers that are just outside the top 10 and those that are consistently in the top 10, top 5, and then going for the championship.
Well, earlier on he was enjoying the hospitality here at GB3 with his family and friends, and I sent Piers in to tear him away to talk about that race.
Kai, second race of the weekend, was very busy on circuit, and you made the most of it, gaining 8 places, getting well inside the top 10. Talk to us about how you made those places.
Yeah, it was honestly just had like a solid start, to be honest. They'd had a trouble in T1, made it past the first corner this time. Had a small bit of contact in T2, just literally got wedged from front and behind. And then, just kind of drove my race. They'd had a trouble, made some good moves, forced some errors, and just kept it clean and really, just kind of came through a little bit.
It looked like staying out of trouble was the best tactic in that race. We saw a lot of drivers going through chicanes, dropping wheels in the gravels. You mentioned the little contact to turn to. There's a little dink on the car there. That shows how close the racing has been this weekend.
100%. I think Monza usually you get quite good racing anyway, so it was kind of expected a little bit when we came here, but it was good. Like last couple of laps was just keeping the XLs behind, and I didn't have DRS either because we were fighting in and out, but it was good fun race, to be honest.
It looked like, from my perspective, that you guys started the weekend maybe a little slower than some of the other teams. A lot of the teams like Rodin and High Tech, who have got cars in championships that race here often, maybe had a bit of a head start, but you've come on strong towards the end of the weekend.
Yeah, 100%. I think definitely struggled a little bit on the first 2 days, but I think started to make improvements. We figured out it was just kind of tiny bits in multiple areas, and then just kind of chipped away a little bit at it. Yeah,
and this year has been a learning year for yourself. Of course, first full season in GB3 is a big step up from, well, it's been competitive, and you've done compared to what you've done before. Just talk to us about the season from your perspective this year. I know you've had really good pace at some points, maybe just other areas where things didn't go quite your way.
Yeah, for sure. I think overall it's been quite a positive first season, to be honest. Like, we had a good number of points finishes in pretty much every round. Obviously, still some things that obviously I've had to work on, and a lot of things that I've learned. But for sure it's been definitely good steps in the right direction overall.
And one more race to go this weekend. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, just try to do the same again, really. Try to get the best start possible and just see what happens. Honestly, anything can happen, especially reverse grid race. So we know it's going to be pretty crazy, but I'm looking forward to it.
Especially at Monza. We've seen some pretty tasty racing so far. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully you have as well.
100%, absolutely.
Kai, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Now, I'm sure you've enjoyed seeing the new GB3 car put through its paces this year in this championship, and there are some changes coming next year, some pretty significant changes as well. And ahead of next year, we were invited to a top secret location for a mystery driver to test out that car and just see what it had to offer. Unfortunately, the mystery driver was unavailable, so we sent Piers.
Morning, we're here at Bedford Autodrome, MSV's test track, and I've got my race gear with me today. And the reason why I've got that is right behind this door. It's been a while since I put this on. It's a bit tighter than it used to be, but anyway, not important. Let's take a look at the new for 2026 GB3 car. Well, I think you'll agree the car looks great, but there's been a lot of changes underneath the hood, which I'll tell you all about when I get inside. Right, so here we are. The new upgraded for 2026 GB3 car. We've seen this car debut this year. For 2026 we've got larger engine, 2.4 litres naturally aspirated, which will give us more torque, more power, for those accelerations out of the tight corners. We've also got some aerodynamic upgrades, most of which you can't see under the body, which should give us more efficient aerodynamics. I mean, I think it's a real step up. You could really feel the power. The rear tyres definitely go off, which I think is going to be an added layer to the racing over the race weekend, something the drivers are going to have to manage. The kind of grunt really means that the power and the downforce and the grip are matched, and I think it's a real statement of intent that the GB3 car is, and the GB3 Championship is still moving forward, still setting the standard in terms of junior single seaters, and I can't wait to see this on track, in action, in anger, in 2026.
Well, as we get ready for the last race of the weekend, the last race of the season here at Monza, I have to say, Piers, it's been really cool to be here at Monza. It must be like a bucket list track for most people, and I'm pleased that I've been here. You've had a good time?
It's been great. Great for the championship visiting here, but also for a lot of people, including myself. First time at Monza, and it's a really cool place, quite different to the circuits we go to in the UK in terms of the setting and the layout, and it's also nice to get some not freezing cold weather in October.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Of course, the calendar for 2026 is out right now. We'll be going to 2 new tracks, the Red Bull Ring in the Styrian Hills of Austria, which I'm really looking forward to. And of course, we end the season in Barcelona next year, so maybe a little bit late winter, late summer, early winter sun for us next year at the Barcelona track, which we know so well. And obviously it's great for the drivers as well, because they're driving on tracks that are raced on in Formula One, much like here at Monza. It's a huge importance actually that the drivers get used to these tracks, because drivers from other championships will be driving these tracks in different campaigns.
Yeah, it's something that's been added to the GB3 Championship in the last few years. We had more and more Formula One tracks, which is important for these young drivers you mentioned. A lot of the drivers in this grid will be aspiring towards Formula 1, at the very least Formula 3 and Formula 2, and the circuits that we have in GB3, they'll be going into Formula 3 and Formula 2 having raced on them in GB3, which will give them a leg up in their future careers.
Well, look, we don't want to look too far ahead, so let's just remind ourselves of where we're racing for this, the final race of the 2025 season.
The Temple of Speed hosts the season finale in the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC, in the longest run from the start-finish line all the way down into that first corner at the Rettifilo. Very tricky to navigate there, such high speed into a big braking zone round Curva Grande and then into the Rogier chicane. They go through the first Lesmo, where before the second Lesmo they come across the DRS detection point, activation all the way down into the Ascari chicane, flicks left, then through a long right and then through a left again before that final run down into the Parabolica, where they'll have that second DRS detection point and that run all the way back down into the first corner, where is the prime overtaking opportunity on the circuit. 3.6 miles all the way around and very little in terms of elevation. It's mostly just the dip and then the rise back up into Ascari as they go under the old banking here at one of the most historical tracks in the world.
Let's ride on board with the GB3 Championship here at the Temple of Speed Monza in 2025. This is Patrick Huizenrode on board his XL Motorsport machine. 260 kilometers an hour, 160 miles an hour down towards turn 1, braking it just before the 100-meter board to slow up for the first chicane, nipping the first apex nicely and then quickly through the left second apex. We've got a wonderful tow from our teammate of Kabir Anurag ahead as we head through the Curva Grande, the world-famous corner, completely flat out. Another opportunity for the drivers to make the most of the large slipstream around this Monza circuit. Very low downforce around here, so the cars will be skittering around through the corners. The Variante Rogier next, left and then right, all the way out to the curb on the exit. Technical middle sector here as we head into the first of 2 Lesmos. Just watch how much speed we carry through the first Lesmo here. Barely even a brake, fighting the car through the middle and right out to the gravel on the exit. The Lesmo 2, probably the most important corner on the circuit, as we have the long run down to Ascari. Now DRS open for the second time in this lap. 2 DRS zones here this weekend. One down the start-finish straight, the second right here as we go under the old circuit towards the Ascari chicane. A beautiful tow through here. Braking just before the 100-meter boards again. Very high minimum speed through here. The gravel on the right-hand side there comes up quickly. We've seen a few drivers take trips through that in practice and qualifying already. Now, just one more straight before we head to the Parabolica, another crucial corner on the lap. A beautiful tow as our teammate just drops out of the way to give us the most downforce to the final corner, braking just after 100 metres, down just 1 gear at full throttle before the apex, all the way out to the white line. and then cutting back to the right-hand side just to shorten the line for a full lap around the Monza circuit in GB3 in 2025.
That is the track here at Monza. It really is. Fly in the eye?
Yep.
Fly in the eye for PSC. There's a lot of midgets around, actually. I have to say, I'm kind of getting a little itchy head here as the day draws out. I'm pleased to say that actually, as you've seen throughout this pre-show, it is nice and warm now. It was pretty cold this morning, and we've had some pretty cold mornings this year, but we wanted to end in style. So we've got a nice little sunset going on a little bit later behind us. And this is the sunset on the GB3 Championship 2025.
God, you're good.
That was
God,
so
you're good.
That's why they don't pay me the big bucks. We need to talk about the grid, because the grid came through only just before we started the pre-show, really, because we were chatting with the race directors. There's a lot that goes into making sure the grid is in order, having looked at incidents in previous races, right? Their job is a hard job.
Of course, they have to look through all of the things that Lewis and I like to speculate about, but sit on the fence with.
Well, you say we'll leave it to them.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
the people. And we actually saw them earlier on, and we were saying that if we have a good race, that they tend to have a bad race, because we've watched good racing and we can enjoy the result, but then they're normally looking into some...
Quite busy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So good job that they do. Shout out to them, as well as, of course, all the marshals who do an incredible job as well. Talking of the grid then, we have a driver racing his first weekend in GB3 on pole position. However, he knows this track better than most other drivers on the grid, because he's won here at F4 level, Maxime Rev.
And there he is.
I mean, just coming into shot here, he's going to be feeling, you would imagine, well, mixed emotions, pretty confident because he knows the track, he knows his strategy into turn one, but also a little bit apprehensive because he's only done 2 starts in this car before.
Yeah, and the starts is crucial. He's going from pole position. We've seen the starts have been very important in terms of the outcome at the front of the race. Maxim, he'll know roughly where he needs to place the car. He's a driver that's raced at F4 level at this circuit this year. I mean, if you watch the pre-show, I think it was the first race of the weekend, he's a pretty chilled guy, pretty relaxed, so I think he'll be fairly confident. But it depends on how his starts went in race 1 and race 2. He was in the middle of the pack, so we didn't exactly see how the launch was. But if he can get away from the line well, and I think he knows he's got the pace. I think arguably of the front row, he's had the better pace. I think Enzo Tavanichko has been up and down the grid this weekend, but let's not count out Abby Pulling, JBMotorsports Pradel. They're on the second row, and Reza Seaworthen as well. He's been quicker this weekend at points. So I
think you say a confident guy. Obviously Enzo Tavanichko, very confident guy, part of the Red Bull Young Driver program. I think with them on the front row, they know they've got 2 Rodins behind, and we know how good Rodin have been also this season. The team's championship, their driver, the third driver that isn't on the second row, has won the driver championship. So with Jean-Marc Pradel and Abby Pulling in third, I would say there's a pretty good chance of a double podium for Rodin.
Yes.
Not that I don't have faith in the front row.
No, but
I'm saying, knowing how quick they are around here, we've talked about it all weekend.
Yes, team's champions. They've been good. They've looked good in qualifying. They've been right up there in all the races. It's going to be hard for Maxim in his first weekend, as you mentioned, to hold him off. Enzo Tavanichko, he's done a good job this weekend. The VRD, maybe they've not had as much running here as other teams like Rodin, like High Tech and other championships. VRD largely race out in America, joins the championship with Arden last
they're also VRD are flying out to America tomorrow morning, aren't they?
Tomorrow morning, yeah.
So Enzo, team, which sounds fun.
Yeah, Enzo's had a pretty up and down weekend. I think he's been involved. He DNF'd in one of the races as well. He'll be looking to end the season on the high as well. He's done a part season this year, so it was a part season, wasn't it? Was he do all the rounds?
Enzo, he missed a couple of rounds earlier on.
Yeah,
he's done the second half of the season fully. We've much enjoyed having Enzo here, and I know a lot of his family are here. We've seen them in the hospitality, buzzing around him. So good luck to him on the front row. Let's go right to the back. Keanu Alazari starting last after having a terrible qualifying. Now, we've seen this kid making some serious overtakes. I think on commentary there were some questions over maybe going down the straight and maybe moving a little bit too much, but the Italian stewards, they're cool with that. They're here to race. I feel like he's going to make up some serious places if he keeps up the pace and the adventure that he's shown over the last couple of races.
Yeah, we just heard from him, didn't we, in the interview a moment ago. He both took advantage of people falling by the wayside, advantage of other people's comings together, maybe that were physical or literal or figurative. But if he can do that again, we know that the reverse grid races always throw a spanner in the works. You've got the fastest drivers in the middle of the pack, drivers who were in the middle of the pack right at the front. Although the grid has actually been very, very close on times this weekend. I think in qualifying it was a second would have taken you well outside the top 10. So it's not going to be so much ebbing and flowing of pace, but with the toe here, the long straights, keeps the pack together. That gives drivers who have got confidence in the car, they can go well to the middle sector. They can then affect a move into the last corner, turn one, even the second chicane. And I'm looking forward to a good final race of the year. I think it's going to be a good one. I'm really hoping we can try and avoid the clumsiness a couple of times that we've seen on the first lap, because that's really been the only interruption to the good racing this weekend so far.
We've heard this national anthem a few times, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, so I hope you can hear that on the microphones. But yes, we are looking forward to seeing what can be done. We always like to talk about pre-race rituals, and today is no different. I know, Piers, we've kind of talked about your pre-race ritual back in the day. Now, all the cars have gone very quiet, which means they're all turned off, which means there might be a delay. But anyway, we're going to get into this. Abby Pulling, I was chatting with her trainer, Georgia. She has got a range of, because they work with personal trainers and nutritionists, she goes with the liquid preparation. She's got like a post-race and a pre-race drink. So she's got like a pre-race drink to get her hyped up, and she's got a post-race like creatine. I was looking at it, it looked like some kind of like washer fluid that you put in your car. It looked horrible, and I don't know Abby was enjoying it, but obviously it keeps you in peak condition. And that is the kind of level that we're at with these athletes now, because it's not just a case of I'll have a banana before I get in the car and it will give me some whatever. It's like proper nutrition, proper gym work, and that's on top of obviously sim work, learning every aspect of the car. And actually we see some drivers who take a really big technical interest in the car to know how things work technically.
Yeah, I think it's well worth noting that you mentioned, Abby has a proper regimented nutrition regime over the weekend. I mean, I never unfortunately got to the level where I was able to do stuff like that, but it's a real thing. I mean, I know you and I, John, we've just had a lovely pizza over lunch, and we're feeling a little bit.
Tell you what, €7 for a pizza.
It's sitting heavy in the stomach, though, right?
Yeah,
and this is what the drivers
right.
will be avoiding. They won't have gone for a pizza at lunch, because that's the thing that will sit heavy, and then you're not got the energy. And it's those minor differences that make a big difference in a grid this close. And if you can recover quickly, relax, switch off, and then have something that gets you hydrated, fueled, energized, and you feel ready, you feel up for the race, that's going to give you the best opportunity to, the difference between making a decisive move and making a decisive mistake.
Of course, and also Deegan Fairclough, just to really pull back the curtain, Deegan Fairclough we saw in the hospitality. He's been in the hospitality quite a lot, I have to say. Of all the drivers, I've seen Deegan at the coffee bar a significant amount this weekend. Must be a bit of a coffee fan, but he's, I think, smashing an espresso. He didn't have a double. I did suggest he should have a double, but he was like, no, I'll stick with the single.
Maybe you should stay out of their drivers' nutrition.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, don't take any advice from me. But yeah, I mean, some drivers, you get a bit of caffeine in you. It gets you to that place where you need to be. Cars are going to be released in about 30 seconds or so. Who's your odds-on favourite to win this last race of the season, Piers?
Do you know what? I'm happy to say, but I can't call winning this one.
Will it be a driver from the top 4? We've seen what's happened at turn 1.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. But I don't know who. I genuinely don't know who. This is anyone's race. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Well, look, at hill speed on pole position, Maxime Rem, he's won at this track at F4 level. Alongside him, Enzo Talvanishko, part of the Red Bull Junior family, so we know he's got it. On the row behind them, we have got 2 drivers from the team's champions in 2025, Rodin Motorsport, in Abby Pulling. She's looking for her first win. She's been on the podium once this season. Can she end the season with a win? She's alongside her teammate Jean-Marc Pradel, who would also like to go out in style for the final time here at Monza and the final time in 2025 in the GB3 Championship. Let's go racing.
The season finale is right now. Hello everyone and welcome back to the GB3 Championship in 2025. It has been one long season, but now it is time for the reverse grid race here at Monza as we try and see who will be our final winner of the final chapter of this season. Rodin Motorsport, we've got 2 of them in the top 4 and we've got a front row which consists of Tom Van Itchkel and Maxime Rem in its first ever weekend of GB3 racing. Let's see how he is going to get on from pole position. Well, here we are then around Monza circuit. We are all set and ready to go for what should be an absolutely extraordinary race. 13 laps or 25 minutes, whichever comes first out of those 2. We are going to be getting ready for the opening laps of the contest in a few moments' time. This is our 24th and final race of the season. This is a circuit that was opened in 1922. Alex Ninovic has the fastest lap around this place, a 1 minute 44.063. And we have 2 DRS zones to aid the drivers with overtaking. Of course, one being down our prime overtaking opportunity at the Retafilio chicane, and then one down towards the Ascari chicane as well, which we have seen some brave moves being made by certain drivers, including Pradel. 3.6 miles is what this circuit runs over to, 12.8 meters of elevation change. 11 turns is basically straights separated by chicanes. That is the way to describe this Monza circuit. In the commentary box for the finale, my name is Omi. Delighted to be with you wherever you might be watching from in the world. It is great to have your company. We have packed out grandstands, which is great to see for this final GB3 race. All of the fans have been loving life around Monza circuit, where they have been treated to lots of spectacular racing. You've had the International GT Open, you've had the GT Open Cup, you've had Euro Formula Open, we've had the Clio Cup cars also racing. There's been plenty for the fans to enjoy, and a lot of these fans, I'm sure, will be back in a week's time, where we will hold more racing, and we will be having the season finale, of course, on our side for Freka and E4. So we hope to have your company in a week's time for that. So Monza, well, it has a special few weeks in terms of racing around this place, and especially if you do like junior Formula racing as well. Plenty to enjoy, plenty to watch, but this is our final race. The cars are getting themselves into position in terms of to begin their formation lap, and it is going to be an extraordinary race. As Piers Pryor and John Jackson have talked you through, it is Maxim Rem who starts on pole position for this race in what is his first weekend in the GB3 Championship. What a special moment it will be for him. Enzo Tarnvanitschkel, of course, the winner from our race in Brands Hatch earlier this year, race number 3, he took the checkered flag first at the end of. So he's got winning pedigree this season, and Abby Pulling will go from third. She has been able to get on the podium, but has not been able to get a victory, so she could also be a driver to keep an eye on as well, to try and get a first win and do so at the final opportunity. Pradell could be a good option from fourth, but as Piers Pryor was mentioning, this one is completely wide open. It is all to play for, and we don't know who is going to come out on top. It is GB3 at its finest, and we look forward to seeing how this is all going to end up in terms of in the way it is all going to play out. As promised, the live timings, we've got it all structured, and we've got it all set up and ready as well. So, if there is any questions about the GB3 Championship, or any other questions that you may have that you want to ask us here at JB Motorsports, let us know in the live chat then, as well as we prepare for this race to get going. Keanu Al-Tahiri was getting a bit of chatter in that pre-show as well, because he starts all the way at the back. He starts all the way at the back, that he's not even in our timing board. It's not visible as well on our JB Motorsports screen. I had to try my absolute best to get as many drivers in, so I thought this would work best. But yeah, unfortunately we can't have them all. We can't do what we had before because it just all glitches about, and you know, we want to focus on the racing. This is, at the end of the day, radio commentary, so I want to make sure that if you are choosing us to be your GB3 commentators, that we can focus on all of the action from start to finish as well. So in terms of winners this weekend, Alex Ninovich took the win yesterday, but Deegan Fairclough took his first victory of the season. And as he mentioned, it kind of removed all of the lows that he's had. Of course, when he looks back at the whole campaign, he will counter those in, but he will not have any regrets. He's going to be happy that he was just able to take a win. He may have done so in the final round, but he will be absolutely loving life, and he'll just take whatever he can from this year, move on to whatever he does next year, and move forward with it and learn from it. That's the big thing in junior Formula racing. The drivers find themselves learning, and that is what goes on plenty of times when it comes to the early days for the drivers. So they have set off on their formation lap for the final time in 2025. I mean, I remember being there at the GB3 test. That was so long ago, but it hasn't felt like it. Okay, our front row is Maxim Rem next to Enzo Tarnvanitschkel. Row 2 sees Abby Pulling and Pradell on a all-road in motorsport row. Then it is Anurag. Anurag is next to Riza Siwuratan. They are 5th and 6th. 7th sees Lucas Flusha next to the Chinese driver Newman Shi, who's going to be going from 8th for Hill Speed. In 9th it is Deegan Fairclough, and then Pat Hoynton-Roda has the possession of P10 on the grid. And then in 11th it is Noah Lyle. In 12th it is Alex Ninovich as well, our champion from this year, looking to round out racing in GB3 on a high. Isaac Phelps as well in his first weekend in 13th, next to Patrico Gonzalez. Jack Sherwood is next to August Raber. They are 15th and 16th in position. 17th sees Kai Darianani, and then it is the Mexican Rodrigo Gonzalez for VRD Racing. He'll start in 18th on the grid. Flynn Jaquez, 19th for him, next to Bart Harrison, who was on the podium in race 3 at our last round at Donington Park. Bianca Bustamante in 21st, and Keanu Al-Zahari has a tough ask from 22nd position. But if there is any circuits where you would be fine being at the back, it is here. We've of course seen Gabriel Bortoleto do a last to first here in Formula 2 1 year ago. So anything is possible. It is all to play for as the cars get themselves towards the grid for the final time. These are going to be nervy moments now. They know this is their final chance. Some drivers would already have some contracts signed, I'm sure, for next year. They've already had discussions, or they're close to signing contracts. But for some of these drivers, that possibly may not be the case. So this could be the final chance that they get to show their talent, to show their class, and to show why they should be on a certain grid in 2026. Of course, a lot of these drivers will be aiming to get through into Formula 3. Some may want to further perfect their skills at regional level, whether that's to stay with us here or go to the new FREC Championship. That's also an option. There's so many different paths for these drivers, and it is always great to see where they go. Of course, we have seen gifts exchanged between teams and drivers. It has really been one big campaign where everyone has been a family together. And Will McIntyre, of course, we're not forgetting about you as well. We continue to send him our best wishes as he tries to recover from cancer. Well, here we go then. The final cars are getting themselves into position. It is time for the season finale of GB3 in 2025. We await the green flag at the back, and it means our attention will go to the 5 lights. The final race of the season is on at Monza, and a slow reaction time for Maxim Rem will give the chance to Enzo Tonvanichkul down towards the Retafilio chicane. Abby Pulling is immediately tucked in the wheel tracks as well, down towards the braking zone. Enzo Tonvanichkul runs wheel to wheel with Maxim Rem, who locks up and will go over the road. Not the only one, Abby Pulling has gone off as well. Al-Zahari in the background trying to take avoiding action as off the road goes one of the XL Motorsport cars, and it is going to be Enzo Tonvanichkul who hits the front here at Monza as he takes the lead away from Maxim Rem. Abby Pulling has lost out to her teammate as the Rodin Motorsport driver of Gianmarco Pradel has gone through. The battle for the lead continues into the Roggio chicane. Round the outside goes Maxim Rem in his first weekend of GB3 racing. It looks like he might have the lead by the time he gets down to Lismo 1. He's squeezing Enzo Tonvanichkul onto the grass. It's still side by side, and after all of that, it is still Maxim Rem who has the lead. And here comes Pradel trying to take second place, and he's done it by Lismo 2. Absolutely fantastic start, and I don't know how Maxim Rem was able to recover what looked like a poor start originally into the race lead and the maintaining of the race lead. Abby Pulling looking to attack, Deegan Fairclough looking to attack into the Ascari chicane. Deegan Fairclough dives down the inside and he gets past Abby Pulling to take 4th position. Not the start that Abby Pulling would have wanted, having started in 3rd. Off the road in the background, I think that is Kabir Anurag in the XL Motorsport car who has gone wide, and here comes Deegan Fairclough. He's gained 1 place on Abby Pulling, wants to make it 2, goes down the inside in towards the final corner. He's ahead before the final corner. Absolutely brilliant. And now Abby Pulling fancies the chance as well to go the long way round, and Abby Pulling will take the place. Round Parabolica. Crazy start. Here at the Temple of Speed at Monza, we are seeing so much action at the start of this race. Over the line we go, and Deegan Fairclough is a driver possessed at the moment. He's on the attack, and he's taking 2nd place by the time he gets down towards turn 1. What a brilliant start it has been for Deegan Fairclough, as he's going to take 2nd place, and he will confirm it by the time he hits the brakes. Off the road will go Tom Vanichkul as he battles away. Ninovic is trying to gain a position, but he's off into the gravel trap there. So, Ninovic trying to battle up against Anurag, getting very aggressive. Tom Vanichkul rejoins, having gone over the road, and he rejoins next to Lucas Flusha, who had a good penalty coming into this race. Absolutely brilliant from Deegan Fairclough. He has gone from he's gained 7 places at the start. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Deegan Fairclough. Oh my word, off in the background. Who's that? we had a car that went off in the background. Is that Ninovich? Is that our champion of this year? Yeah, it is. Alex Ninovich has gone off. I couldn't quite see due to the sun setting, but it is Alex Ninovich who has gone off the road, and he's now wheel to wheel there with August Raber, who sends it around the outside. That is an absolute terrible lap for Alex Ninovich. He has lost plenty of places, as now we enable the DRS and we see the top three really start to close in. Absolutely extraordinary start to the motor race. This is exactly what we would have wanted. We promised you action in our final GB3 race of the season, and I can tell you it is delivering. Out there on the circuit, Deegan Fairclough is looking to try and now take the race lead on the circuit in towards the final corner. We could be about to go 3 wide, as round the outside, Enzo Tom Van Ichkel losing a position, and there being able to get by is going to be Seaworthen. So Reza Seaworthen has gained a place. Nice stuff there for Reza Seaworthen. He's going to be ahead as we now come across the line, and Tom Van Ichkel having to go further defensive. But in terms of the battle for the lead, I think that will be going on when we look at them in our picture now. And Deegan Fairclough goes down the inside into turn 1, and he's going to gain 8 places from where we started the race. Absolutely brilliant stuff from Deegan Fairclough. Our race 2 winner is on the charge. He's absolutely passed everyone in this to get himself to the front. Okay, Flusha got past Pulling. The battling is still going on further back as we see Jack Sherwood run wheel to wheel there, and Jack Sherwood trying to maintain himself in contention. We've got August Raber in there, but Maxim Rem has lost the position. Round the outside comes Tom Van Ichkel trying to now clear Anurag, that is, and Tom Van Ichkel's off the ideal racing line. Anurag gets the chance to fight back. Oh my word, he's nearly into the back. He's nearly into the back. Cars absolutely everywhere in the background as well, through Lismo 1 in towards Lismo 2. All of the drivers are absolutely going for it. Alex Ninovich coming under pressure. Oh, losing the car. How did he keep that one pointing in the right direction? Our champion of this year is having a dreadful time of things, but I can't believe he's still pointing in the right direction after nearly losing the car. I thought he was going to be heading into the barrier there. We've seen a few cars in the past. The last year's Frecker race, we had a car in the wall at the end of Lismo 2, so it is absolutely possible, but it is Fairclough, and then it is Rem in his first weekend of GB3 racing, experiencing all the thrills and spills of GB3, I am sure. I'm sure he's also used to it from what he's seen in Italian F4, but my word, Alex Ninovich, I thought that was a one-way ticket into the barrier. Deegan Fairclough may have got himself into the lead, but he's still going to have to defend because Maxim Rem wants to win on his first weekend in the championship. He's getting closer as one hill speed looks to attack, one looks to defend because Abby Pulling sends it round the outside in towards the braking zone. It was very close for Tom Van Ichkel. Further back, Pulling will be squeezed out wide, and that could leave her vulnerable to Seaworthen now in a few moments' time. So that could get very tight. Pulling was able to actually get on with it. Big lock up in the background, as I think that is Gonzalez who's trying to make a move further back. Through the Curva Grande we go, and now Deegan Fairclough once again looking all over his mirrors. Pulling defending there furiously up against Lucas Flusha, so she's got past Flusha. So nice stuff from Abby Pulling, back up to 4th position. So Abby Pulling finds herself back in contention. This is absolutely a ludicrous GB3 contest. Deegan Fairclough trying to win for the second time in the series. Can you believe the scenario that Deegan Fairclough finds himself in? The scenario that Tom Van Ichkel finds himself in right now is not good because he's gone off into the gravel and he could be losing another place. This time I think that is Anurag who's going to try go through into the Ascari chicane. He's got the inside line and it's going to be neck and neck between the two of them, and Anurag gets ahead. But what I was trying to say about Deegan Fairclough was that he's had to wait all season. He's been winless all season. Has had some podiums. But can you believe if he just wins 2 races to end the year? I mean, it will all make it worth it, I am sure, if he is to end the season in that style. In towards the final corner. And Deegan Fairclough is going to be coming under pressure, I am sure, to Maxim Rem. But further back, there is battling to be had as well. You can tell it is the final GB3 race of the season. Everything is going on across this entire field right now. There are so many battles, but now for the race lead, we are going to go side by side, and Deegan Fairclough on the brakes. Will he make the corner? No! Deegan Fairclough misjudges his braking point as he tried to defend for Maxim Rem, and Maxim Rem should be able to go through now and take the race lead, but where will Pradell be in comparison? He'll be in behind, so it is Maxim Rem who takes the lead as he chases victory on his first GB3 weekend, and now Pradell is going to fancy the attack in towards the second chicane, tries to go round the outside. Deegan Fairclough places the car perfectly and maintains the position. Meanwhile, that's exactly what Abby Pulling is doing as well. John Vanichkul looking for a way through up the inside, and he's going to come under pressure because he's got XL Motorsport cars absolutely everywhere at the moment. So we've got Sherwood, we've got Anurag, and it's Sherwood who is trying to defend off, and Tom Vanichkul stays ahead. Absolutely fantastic racing in the GB3 Championship as we make our way now down towards the Ascari chicane. But this has been an absolutely brilliant finale as of yet. If that's all we get, then fine, because it's been absolutely crazy. But you just know this championship isn't going to stop. We're going to continue to get action all the way till the end. It is just the way we do things in the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. Monza, we won't be coming back to it next year, but we are enjoying the remaining laps of this contest. Reza Seaworthen having to go hyper defensive into the Parabolica there as he tries to stay ahead. So that is Seaworthen up against Shi, another driver who is in his first weekend of GB3. Here we go. The slipstream is on for Pradell. The slipstream is on for Fairclough. They're both getting themselves closer to Maxime Rem. And Deegan Fairclough, I think, is going to challenge for the lead as well. He goes, or at least attempts to go up the inside, but he can't get there. And it is going to be formation flying side by side. They're moving their way through is going to be the number 5 of Pat Hoytson-Roeder. So Hoytson-Roeder ahead of... so he's been able to get past Shi then. So Shi has lost a position. He was trying to make an overtake of his own, but he's now lost a place. The top 3 making their way in towards the Della Roggia chicane. Bit of gravel being kicked up, but they will get away with it. This is a race which is non-stop in terms of the battling, giving me Euro Formula vibes. Euro Formula Open. We had a crazy race around this time yesterday where we saw the race decided by 1,000. Only a single 1,000. 1 millisecond away from a dead heat. That was. It was absolutely extraordinary. Abby Pulling is getting on with it now. I think she's trying to get herself and Flusha into the mix and the battle for the win. Imagine if a 3-car battle was to become a 5-car battle. I don't know how we're going to last. We'll be maxing out your speakers. Luckily, though, it's the final race of the season. Oh, Fairclough wide. Fairclough wide. He's made a mistake. He dipped a tyre into the gravel, and now that will give an opportunity to Pradell, I am sure. Pradell pulling out of the slipstream is about to go up the inside of Deegan Fairclough. They're about to run wheel to wheel. Fairclough just comes over, kind of tries to scare him into the braking zone, but nothing you can do to stop Pradell and Rodin Motorsport, who are moving up to second place as it stands. Rodin Motorsport, of course, the team champions of GB3 in 2025. And now Deegan Fairclough for High Tech is immediately on the attack, is immediately giving his response to Pradell and tries to take back the race lead, second place, and tries to get himself closer to the race lead. Abby Pulling defending there further back in towards the braking zone. Do they make their way through? Lockups. That's a word that we've heard a lot this weekend. Lockups and GB3 together. Pulling did stay ahead and Pulling did maintain the position, but Abby Pulling is getting herself closer, I can tell you, to the battling that is going on. Out in front, could we be about to have? It wouldn't even be a 5, it would be a 6-car battle because Seaworthen's right there as well. Pulling still having to defend. If I'm Flusha, I'm thinking more cautiously now. If I'm Flusha into the second chicane, that is going to be Hoytson-Roeder still ahead of Shi as that battle was going on. I'll finish my point in a second because the racing just won't stop out there on the circuit. Around the outside, attempted move by Noah Lyle. Noah Lyle, who's been a contender when it has come to a couple of our races this season. But yeah, if I'm Flusha, then I don't want to actually attack Abby Pulling. I want to work with her to get ourselves into the battle for the win. Because yeah, you can get yourself in the battle, then battle it all amongst yourselves. But you've got to think cautiously, and I'm sure Flusha wants to end this on a win. That's what he had in our last race 3, as well at Donington Park. But you want to end this on a high. You want to end it on the top step. So maybe pass in a straight line, but don't battle into corners and make yourself and Pulling lose time. Sometimes in this championship and sometimes around Monza, it can be all about tactics. You have to think more about stuff as well and not just try and pass at every single opportunity that you get. You have to think strategically. You have to be cautious with the way you go about things. And now I can definitely tell you that Deegan Fairclough is getting closer to Maxim Rem. No passing this time by between our top 5 in towards the Retafilio chicane. And now we will make our way. Oh, the hill speed car is going to be off in the background. So that will surely be the hill speed of Newman Shee, who has gone off the road. And that will easily confirm Pat Hoinsenroder in 7th place. And now Newman Shee will be left battling away with Noah Lyle and that field that are going to be coming in behind. As it stands, by the way, Pat Hoinsenroder would be second in the standings by a single point. So, second place in the championship is all up for grabs. So if Pradell goes on the attack, and if Pradell attacks, he has got a chance to try and, improve his chance of getting himself into second place and become the runner-up of GB3 2025. Down towards the Ascari chicane, Pradell already looking to attack Deegan Fairclough. And I think Pulling's getting herself in there as well. What's the gap? 1.1, so it's been closed in. Can Abby Pulling become a contender and fight herself into this battle for the win? And she'll be bringing Flusha, she'll be bringing Seaworthen, and even Hoinsenroder will love to get involved, I am sure. Into the final corner, the Parabolica. Of course, renamed the Curva Alboreto, but still referred to lots as the Parabolica. It's a rich history this circuit has at Monza. Maxim Rem knows that he has had some great gaps to second place when he's made his way onto the iconic pit straight over the last few laps, but I'm sure he'll know that this isn't one of them. Fairclough is coming. Fairclough is coming. He's not dive bombing though, and he won't dive bomb, but Pulling is now in this battle, by the way. It was 8-10, so she's got DRS and she is absolutely in the fight. We mentioned keep an eye on Keanu Al-Tahiri today. He's on the charge. He's trying to go round the outside of Jack Sherwood, who shows Keanu Al-Tahiri the curb, and Keanu has to cut over the corner as well. But he has gained positions as Al-Tahiri. He is now fighting himself in 12th, was trying to take 11th on that occasion, but couldn't get there. Remember, this is a driver who started in 22nd and last on the grid. Round the outside, tries to go Alex Ninovic. He wants to end GB3 on a high, and he's battling up against Noah Lyle. Noah Lyle is ahead for the moment. We're still side by side in the background. And that is going to be Sherwood, Anurag, Tom Van Ichkul. And not a lot of margin between those 3 drivers. What a thrilling finish this is turning out to be to our GB3 2025 season. We are ticking our way into the final minutes, the final laps of racing. Our champion may be crowned, but there was a reason why after Donington Park we told you to come here and join us for racing at the Temple of Speed, even with the champion crown, because you would get brilliant motor racing, you'd get brilliant racing like this, like what you're seeing at the moment. Lock up from Maxime Rem, a driver in his first weekend being pushed right to the ragged edge. And while we keep saying it is first weekend, we also do have to be honest, he does have experience of the circuit, possibly more than some of the other drivers, so it's all kind of equalising it out. But still, to be battling in this machinery, to still be doing so well around this Monza circuit at the moment, in towards the Retafilio chicane we go. It is going to be maintain the order. That's the approach for the drivers in this field at the moment. But now I'd wonder, are we going to start to see the aggression come out? When does Deegan Fairclough tries to make this move on Maxime Rem? When will Pradell try and take the opportunity? Because this could be a chance for him to try and get second place in the Drivers' Championship as well. He would love to be the vice champion. He'd love to be the runner-up this year. And I'm sure he'll want to try and get himself in there. Through towards Lismo 1 go our leaders. It is now becoming a 7-car train in the battle for the win. What a brilliant way to end our campaign. Remember, a journey that started all the way at Silverstone. For us, it started, even before that, at Brands Hatch at a pre-season test that we were covering here. It has been an absolute privilege to broadcast this championship to you on this channel. We really appreciate everyone who has supported it. As well, mainly on the TikTok, we've had lots of support when it has come to that. And I can assure you there'll be plenty of clips going on to the TikTok from this contest, from this racing today. Here we go then, Deegan Fairclough. It's really, he needs to be close out of Parabolica. If he is close, then of course the toe will be stronger, everything will be stronger. And yesterday we had Alex Ninovich actually mentioning, along with battling with Hoinsenroder, about how the car would so Hoinsenroder was mentioning it, that you wouldn't have usually enough overspeed because the cars would max out by the time you got to turn number 1. So it's something else to consider for these drivers. And here we go. Hoinsenroder is getting closer to Reza Siwarutan. Will he send it late on the brakes? Of course he will. He goes up the inside and Reza Siwarutan will be super deep. He surely had to go over the road. The camera angle doesn't allow us to see it on that occasion. Where will he be in comparison? He's just ahead. So he's just ahead. So surely he's cut over the road. Now I wonder what the stewards will say about that in case it was properly off the road. He's looking to try and now make this move. As meanwhile, Deegan Fairclough closes in the battle for the race lead in towards the second chicane. Abby Pulling is right now staring at a possible podium chance ahead. And I'm sure she would love to get herself onto a podium here at the Temple of Speed at Monza. She, of course, would have raced here in 2023 when the GB3, when the F1 Academy Series first came. It's the only time they've actually come here. Has the F1 Academy Series. It was a great weekend of racing. Had a big crash show to start it, but Abby Pulling has got experience of the circuit. She knows what she's doing. She will also, of course, be getting advice from Alice Powell in terms of just all of the ins and outs of battling and how to approach this final round. It has been a great combination between those two, but Abby Pulling now looking to try and defend as Deegan Fairclough sniffs an opportunity as Abby Pulling runs wheel to wheel into the final corner with Lucas Flusha trying to go the long way round. Nothing between the two cars, and now Flusha could be under threat. Pat Hoinsenroder has a chance as well. On to the iconic pit straight we go at Monza. The penultimate lap of the race, the penultimate lap of the season. The battling continues at the front. Pradell, if he wants to be the runner-up this year in GB3, has to go on the attack, has to try and move up a position. If he can get into second, that would do that for him. In towards the braking zone. Flusha stays ahead, just about up against Pat Hoinsenroder, but now these two battling is going to allow Abby Pulling to breathe over the final few laps now, and Pat Hoinsenroder is darting all over the back, trying to go left, trying to go right, looking for the chance through the Curva Grande now down towards the second chicane. Can we see a move come in? Pradell looking to try and send it as we see wheel to wheel continue there, and Hoinsenroder has to cut over the road. He has to go over the road. Does this now leave himself vulnerable? Surely it will. Surely it will to Reza Siwarutan. He stays ahead of Reza Siwarutan. I thought it would see a change in position, but it wasn't quite. Maxim Rem is pulling away. Maxim Rem is trying to break clear from Deegan Fairclough. Fairclough has to get on with it. If not, Pradell will go for the opportunity. My word, is this about to get aggressive here on the last lap? Does Deegan Fairclough close in enough? Does Pradell go for the move, looking to try and go round the outside once again at that part of the circuit, the Ascari chicane? He did it in race number 2 earlier on this morning. Right now, Deegan Fairclough, I don't think is doing enough to attack Maxim Rem on the iconic pit straight. He is tucked in the slipstream. Maxim Rem is breaking the toe in towards the Parabolica we go. Are we going to see any other late moves come in? What an absolutely brilliant GB3 season it has been. And now we are about to head on to the final lap of the race. Maxim Rem, I think, will just do enough on this straight to maintain the advantage, but I don't think Fairclough has got enough of an advantage over Pradell. On to the final lap of the season, and it's wheel to wheel between Pradell trying to get second place in the point standings, and he can't get ahead of Deegan Fairclough. Lock up for Maxim Rem. Our race leader locks up here on the final lap of the season. Is he going to be able to maintain the advantage? He's still staying ahead. Now we've got our traditional overtaking opportunities. Could it be anything wild? Could it be something to fight for in a few moments' time, as well as we're still side by side? That is going to be Flusha up against Hoinsenroder as well, and Siwarutan will be there as well in towards the braking zone of the second chicane. He can't find his way by at the moment. Back to single file we go. Deegan Fairclough looks close to the back of Maxim Rem. He's giving it his all. It looks like he's lost a bit of time. This exit out of Lismo 2, so important. One more. Running off DRS now incoming. The final DRS zone of the season. Pradell will be in there as well. It could very much be a battle for second place as well, incoming between these two drivers. Fairclough looking to defend. Pradell, is he going to make a bold move? Here we go, in towards the braking zone. Pradell has a look round the outside. He can't quite get there. They will make their way through the Ascari chicane. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and now it is flat to the floor, all the way down towards the final corner. Maxime Rem is doing enough. The battle for second place will absolutely be on. But can you believe this performance in his first weekend of GB3? He has experience of this circuit and he has used it to his advantage up against the other drivers. Maxim Rem, the German driver, comes round the final corner and he will get himself to a first win in GB3 and will become our final winner of 2025 as he takes the checkered flag, and Deegan Fairclough will be in second and Pradell will be in third at the checkered flag. Abby Pulling gets another top 5 today, and it's Hornson Roda who finds himself in 5th. GB3 racing all the way till the end. Absolutely fantastic season, and it all concludes now with Maxime Rem becoming our final winner of the year. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Maxime Rem, what a great drive. Such a deserving performance in a race that was contested all the way till the end. Can you believe what we've just seen? By 0.6 of a second, Maxime Rem wins. Deegan Fairclough in second, Pradell in third, Pulling fourth, Hornson Roda fifth, Siwuritan sixth, Ninovich, Flusha, Lyle, Shi, Al-Zahari, Sherwood, Anurag, Darianani, and Gonzalez, that is Patrico Gonzalez, ending our first page in 15th position. The fastest lap of the race somehow went to Alex Ninovich. He was able to mind his own business after the early stage drama and just get on with things. Raber, and then Isaac Phelps, the GB4 graduate, in 17th. Bart Harrison 18th. Then it was Tom Valichkol on day to forget. Flynn Jacques 20th. Rodrigo Gonzalez 21st. And our final finisher of 2025 was Bianca Bustamante. And breathe. Oh, I've never enjoyed going through results so much more. Oh, I cannot believe it. Maxime Rem driving the car onto the grass. I mean, he's done the job. He has done the job. Absolutely fantastic. You can tell this is the last day of school vibes out there on the circuit. And up here in the commentary box as well. I cannot believe this season is coming to a close and concluding. But we will enjoy the post-race ceremonies. We will get all of the chatter and all of the talk from Piers Pryor and John Jackson. Don't you worry about that. We will ensure to have all of that coming your way to round out the season. But our final winner of the season is going to be Maxime Rem. Which, I mean, it was discussed, it was talked about how at the same time, while it is his first weekend of competition in the GB3 Championship, he has raced around the circuit, and Piers Pryor described to us about how that can possibly give a little bit of an edge to a racing driver. But Maxime Rem, F4 to regional level, to the top step, to the win in Monza. Superb from the German, who goes into the hands of his team. There will be plenty and plenty of celebrations, I can assure you, with Hillspeed, who have won so many times this season. As there we have Pradell as well, who gets the pat on the back by Rodin Motorsport. And also at the same time, we will officially be crowning our GB3 champion. I know we've already done it, but, you know, officially in front of the board, etc., etc. All of just the celebrations. All of just the celebrations. Okay. The thumbs up are given. I think they were giving it there to Alex Ninovich, who is lining up in position and is your GB3 champion, as he will get the gloves off. Definitely not the race that he would have wanted. Definitely not a good way to end the season by his standards, by his high, incredible standards. But he'll just be happy that he was able to get himself to the flag. And, well, has the whole season. No one's going to remember this race. It will be the season as a whole that he has put together this year that will be talked about. The change of performance that he's been able to put in from British F4 last year to GB3 this year. Now he's posing as the 2025 champion. What a brilliant performance. And well, he's got something lined up. I can tell you he's got something lined up. So I'm not going to start shouting at I'm not going to start shouting at this stream and being like, sign him up. Do not worry. We're not going to do that. I believe he has got something lined up for next year. So don't worry about that one bit. Okay, let's go down and hear from our race winner.
Starting off the week, I didn't thought this would be possible. I mean, obviously, yeah, I really didn't go into this weekend with any expectations. But I mean, we've shown that we're fast enough in the free practices. We've shown that we're fast enough in the qualies. And I think, yeah, that's just proven that we're plenty fast enough to win around here. Again in F3, and especially with the slipstream in this car, without the DRS in P1, it's very difficult to stay in the lead. You've seen me and Deegan scrapping a little bit. I think if he's in your slipstream as DRS, it's impossible to defend, really. I tried to break the slipstream in the race. I think it sort of worked, and I'm happy with the result, yeah.
Yeah, we enjoyed that battle. Did you save tyres knowing you were on pole position for this race?
To be honest, the tyre deck here is very minimal, so there's not really any tyre saving. It's just full send, I think, every lap.
Well, look, we've enjoyed watching you here. How was your first experience of GB3 been?
It's very nice. I really love the car. It's just amazing, and you'll probably see me here next year as well.
Well, look, fingers crossed. You've already won one race this year, so hopefully we'll watch you do the full season next year, maybe.
Yeah, if I do it, let's see what we can do in the championship. Obviously, it's still a long way to go, but I'll give my best.
Excellent. Well, we'll let you go and stand on that iconic podium once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There we go. Maxime Rem with Hillspeed. Hillspeed doing incredible things this year. Deegan Fairclough having a very nice weekend. A win in that race before. Second place, another podium for you. How was it out there? We enjoyed that battle with Maxime.
Yeah, it was good. Mistake on my part when I was in the lead trying to defend on Maxime. I had to go through the escape route, so not ideal. And struggled with the front left. Old tyres, they've been on for the whole weekend, so it was difficult, but to start P9 and finish second, I can't complain. Obviously, it was close, but yeah, so far.
I was going to say, knowing what you needed to achieve over Pat to clinch second, were the team talking to you about that during the race?
Oh, I didn't even know I clinched second.
No, unfortunately, I don't want to break it to you. Unfortunately, he just clinched it, but obviously he had a good chance if he finished a bit further back, but he made up a couple of places towards the end there. But the team weren't keeping you across that at all.
No, it was, yeah, no, they didn't. And to be fair, it is what it is. This year's been a bit of a roller coaster, and I've learned a lot from it. And the team have supported me massively all year, so it's a big thanks to them. We've ended on a good finisher this year.
Super positive end to the season. Congratulations, another trophy for you.
Thank you very much.
There we go. I think I might have ruined his day there a little bit. Right, we're going to speak to Jean-Marc Pradel. We'll get on to the saging in just a minute, but enjoyed that battle. It was good to have a race without a safety car.
Yeah, finally. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, overall the weekend was relatively okay. Bringing home three podiums, so that was all right. I mean, it was a shame to drop in the championship, and then you know, I mean, it's just been difficult race 2 and 3 relative to others around us, but yeah, I mean, decent race, enjoyed it a lot, just couldn't make the pass, unfortunately. Yeah, 2 drivers seem to be working together ahead, so yeah, did what I could.
What can you do? Are we going to see you back in GB3 next year? I know it may not be decided yet. Is there hope that you can be back, or have you got your eyes somewhere else?
Let's see what happens. I mean, yeah, not sure what we're doing at the moment, but you'll find out soon enough.
Bit of unfinished business. And finally, we've been hearing and seeing lots of people in the chat saying that you're a super nice guy, because before the show we talked about your gifts that you've given out to your teammates. Just tell us the story behind that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a little memento which Dad got done at work, and so yeah, just he brought him over from Australia, just a little memento so that the team always has something for me. So yeah, just little wooden blocks, a few laser etchings in there, so just something special. Well, I hope it resonates with them. So yeah.
Abby showed me earlier. She's very pleased to receive that, and it's been a great season for the team. So we'll let you go and celebrate with them.
Thanks very much.
There we go, Jean-Marc Pradel, another driver that we've enjoyed hearing from this year. I think we'll chat to Alex Nenovich on the podium in just a second. So let's let these drivers for this last race of the weekend go and get their trophies right now. Lewis.
Yeah, let's let them do it indeed. Thank you very much, Thank you very much, John Jackson. And yes, a huge thank you to all of the drivers who have spoken with us. Don't worry, we've still got one more interview to bring you. We've got the biggest one of the season, the champion crowning moment. Some series, of course, want to ensure that the big ceremony still happens at the final race where they officially get given the championship. But yeah, we crowned them earlier. We officially crowned them now, I think is the best way to put it, everybody. If anyone's wondering where Wes was, by the way, he unfortunately couldn't be with us here today. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's been a weekend of him being elsewhere and not being able to join us. Hopefully, he'll be able to join us for the finale of Freka and E4, though. That'll be in a week's time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Freka and E4 is going to play out at the Temple of Speed at Monza. It's going to be exciting. I am absolutely sure of it. But I feel like we need to breathe a bit. We need to relax a little bit. We've got Formula 1 that's coming up in about under 4 hours now. 3 hour, 30 minutes, just over that, to be more precise. So, yeah, I get to sit back and watch a bit of that, having done all of my feeder series commentary. But yeah, these races absolutely drain you. I mean, race 2 was fine. After race 3, I'm absolutely dead. There was so much to call, because I feel like this was one of those races where there was something going on at every single moment, or there was some form of intrigue. So, a great final race for GB3, I think, this season. And we will get ready for them to make their way to the podium in a few moments' time. So we'll be able to bring you that very shortly as well. Of course, they were talking to you about the new calendar for next year. Well, I'm looking forward to going to the Red Bull Ring. I'm looking forward to going to Spain. But I will miss going to Monza, because a season finale at Monza just feels good, I think, for feeder series. I think it just works. Open wheelies at Monza is absolutely crazy. And I hope Spain can give it justice. I hope Spain can do it justice in a year's time. But, yeah, we can only wait and find out in terms of what way the championship and what way GB3 in 2025 will even go. 2026. That's going to take a bit of getting used to. Luckily, we have got quite a few months now to get used to GB3 2026. But, yes, let's keep 2025. Let's focus on the present and now in terms of celebrating our final winners and our champion as well of this season. As you can see, the live timings have changed. The Renault Clio Cup has just begun. Of course, we're going to stay on air. We're going to properly give GB3 its goodbye, its send-off in 2025 that it deserves, because it's been a great series for us to cover on the channel. And we so look forward to seeing where everyone's journey will go next. There's so many great, talented drivers in this field, and I'm so looking forward to seeing how this is all going to play out. Okay, P3, I think a bit of a disappointing day for Pradel. Of course, he believed that our top two, Deegan Fairclough and Maxime Rem, were working together. I think they will look at it from a different perspective. Fairclough just wasn't able to get there. But Maxime Rem finding himself on the top step of the podium. And he'll be absolutely loving life, I am sure. This will be a trophy that he'll want to treasure. This iconic podium that goes over the circuit, of course. Pradel and Fairclough given their trophies. But the biggest one of race number 3 heading the way of our race winner, Maxime Rem. And yeah, looking forward to seeing if he's back with us. Of course, it sounded like he did want to, that he did intend to come back with us, but no guarantees at all in this championship. And it can all depend on where is the best option for him. But this will definitely be an option, especially after the win today, that he'll want to consider. I am absolutely certain Maxime Rem. Such a great performance, and so great to see. A lot of the drivers who we absolutely love to see fighting at the front in Italian F4. The only thing we haven't actually been able to see them do it many times. Drivers like Bart Harrison, drivers like Maxime Rem. So good, and such a big surprise that they come up to GB3 and just absolutely do this. But we're all here for it. Sometimes certain machineries just click. Some drivers just excel in the faster cars. Just the way it works. Okay, well, the trophies will be taken and savoured, I am sure, for a long time to come. Especially a long time, because guess what? we've got a few months away. There's no more trophies for these drivers to add to their tally. So yes, the most recent one will be looked at and put at the front of their trophy cabinet, I am sure, for quite a while. One that I think will always have a place at the front of their trophy cabinet is Alex Ninovich's championship one, because he now makes his way onto the podium. Very rare that you get on the podium yourself, and it's just a podium for you. This is completely a ceremony for you, and he is the champion as he poses with, away with the awards, making sure that we've got plenty of images. All the photographers going to be getting their money's worth, I am sure. Every single picture that can be linked with the driver on their move up. I wonder whether we're going to get John Jackson. That was the intention, I think, that we were going to get John Jackson up there to speak with Ninovich. I don't actually know whether that is the plan, but I hope that we can get one final interview. I know we've already talked to him about being our champion this year, but, you know, in the official crowning of Alex Ninovich, GB3 champion 2025, would love to go and get a bit of an interview down there with him, and I'm sure that he will absolutely enjoy not having either Pierce Pryor or John Jackson stuffing microphones in their faces, because yeah, that's one thing about dominating. If you constantly dominate in the way that Alex Ninovich has done, if you constantly do that, then, you know, you get to speak to Pierce Pryor and John Jackson a lot. So I don't think you want to see them after this season. After every single day, you are having multiple interviews with them. Okay, we welcome our top three in the championship onto the podium. Deegan Fairclough, Pat Hoynson-Roda, and our GB3 champion, Alex Ninovich. I mean, a bit of a special day, isn't it, for these three? Yeah, Deegan Fairclough looking quite happy. Ninovich looking quite happy. I mean, that's the thing. He's officially crowned champion. Anything that's happened earlier on in this race, you can forget. I think Pat Hoynson-Roda, though, looks a little bit upset. Deegan Fairclough and Alex Ninovich smiling at each other a little bit. Pat Hoynson-Roda lifts the trophy. The driver to finish in second at the end of our season. Oh, there we go. We got some confirmation. He didn't look to be smiling too much. Smiling now. Smiling now after getting the trophy. And a man that is certainly smiling, Alex Ninovich, the GB3 champion of 2025. They get together for the photo. Our top three in the championship photo of GB3 2025. Oh, the Renault Clio Cup is starting behind the safety car. Wonder what's happened on the circuit. I hope we didn't do anything for them in terms of put oil on the circuit or do anything of that fact. Really hope that we didn't do anything to cause that. Unless it started raining or something else has happened that I'm not seeing out there on the circuit. Oh, brilliant. Yep, that trophy. Alex Ninovich, it seems like he doesn't know what to do next. Is he expecting an interview? Is he expecting someone from MS3 to just go there and put a microphone in his face? Is he expecting John Jackson, a wild John Jackson, to appear? I don't know. I thought we were going to get an interview with Alex Ninovich. Are they going to call him back onto the podium? Rodin Motorsport, the team's champion. They get their celebration. We're getting all the celebrations taking place. Absolutely fantastic. Alex Ninovich is there as well. The team member with Alex Ninovich, the Australian, who has beaten them all. And next year, of course, for Ninovich, wherever he's racing, there will be a new exam question about whether he can master it. But this year, 2025, belongs to him, and he'll be celebrating this title. But in junior racing, it's just the way it works. You're constantly moving up, and then you've got a new goal ahead. You win one title, and then you're already moving up to showcase yourself. And even if you do win this title, you cannot relax. You cannot just chill. It's immediately work for next year, because everything can be forgotten very quickly about this championship if whatever you move on to next, you don't do well in. Okay, let's take a look at our final race highlights of the season. Race 24 out of 24. We battled our way in towards the Rettifilo chicane, and it was Maxime Rem who looked to have an absolutely terrible start. It looked like it was going to be a chance of the win gone from the off. But he was able to recover and take the lead very, very quickly, as well as he got himself into position. Our champion of this year would have a big nightmare onto the gravel, and we thought he could have been ending his final race in GB3 in the wall. But luckily he got away with it. Luckily he was able to continue fighting. Fighting is what the rest of the field would do across this contest and across this race. It was absolutely a brilliant, brilliant race, and I hope to see more of that next year with, of course, a better car. We'll have an adjusted car to improve on what we've had this year. So if you thought that this year's been good, the next year we'll improve it and take it a step further as well. Okay, Alex Ninovich ends as the champion, 524 points to his name provisionally. Pat Hoynton rode a second, 378. He would be our champion if he had 700, or anywhere near that number. Deegan Fairclough, 373, and Pradell, 364 points. He'll be disappointed to not end up in the top 3 in the standings. Then Siwurathan, Azahari, Lyle Flusha, Will McIntyre, we continue to send him our best wishes, of course. And Abby Pulling gets herself a spot in the top 10. It was a battle between Abby Pulling and Kai Darianani to see who would get themselves in the top 10. But Abby Pulling has been able to take it. Abby Pulling has been able to do it. And I'm sure she'll be absolutely loving life. Well, Abby Pulling. But let's go down and hear from our champion. John Jackson and Pierce Pryor are with him right now.
You finally got your hands on the trophy here, 2025 champion. Where is it going to go?
At the moment, probably in the truck and then at the race team in Farnham. But yeah, we'll see what happens after that, whether they let me take it with me.
Now, Pierce was commentating on that race. And Pierce, you've got a big claim to make about that last race there.
I think that was probably one of the best races of the season so far, definitely from the commentary box. You were up and down the order like a yo-yo. It must have been pretty fun out there for you.
Yeah, it was definitely probably one of the more enjoyable races of the season, having no pressure on, and then starting from 12th, actually dropping back quite a lot with a few incidents with cars around me, and then fighting back to 7th in the end was really, really nice. The car felt amazing, and I just did the best job I could.
And amazing for you to win so many races, win this weekend, win the championship, and then have a fight like that at the end of the year. I mean, I'm sure your confidence is sky high now going into next year.
Yeah, definitely. All year we've been fast, and just in the last sort of 4 or 5 rounds, the pace has just been abundant, really. Like, you can't not be at the front, so yeah, I'm really confident and looking forward to the steps ahead.
There was a moment on the grid just then where you and Deegan were waiting for, I think, something to go on. Maybe it was a champagne or whatever. You didn't actually get champagne at the end there, did you?
No champagne for the championship.
But you said to him, Monza, like a surreal moment, right?
Yeah, definitely. To finish the championship here at Monza is amazing, and to finish on a day like today with great results, and obviously just family, friends and supporters all around, it's definitely a nice feeling.
What's the plan tonight?
I think we'll go out for dinner with a few of our family friends from back home in Australia, so yeah, that'll be nice.
Excellent stuff. Well, look, we've really enjoyed watching you race this year. We're going to keep an eye on your career, see where you go, and thanks for just, giving us some epic moments.
Thank you.
There we go, 2025 champion.
Off you go, mate.
We'll
go and enjoy the
head off behind me there. We're not going to find any more drivers up here, Piers, because we are very much isolated on this island, but that really was an epic race to end the weekend.
Unbelievable. I mean, there was overtaking up and down the field. Actually, the cleanest race of the weekend. I think the drivers really got the hang of how the racing goes around here, where you need to push, where you need to back off. A really shining example of how experience at racing on a circuit is valuable. Over the 3 races, it got cleaner and cleaner, closer and closer. And I've said it a number of times this weekend, but a lot of the drivers like Ninovich there, Alex, we just spoke to, and a lot of other drivers will be moving on to bigger and better things, moving in their careers of motorsport, and they will be racing at Monza again in the future, and they'll be able to call on the experience they had this weekend, and a real worthwhile addition to the championship. And I've loved it. I've loved being here. I've loved watching it. It's been a great season, and I can't wait for next year already.
I think I owe an apology to Deegan Fairclough there. I thought he'd been told that he hadn't quite grasped second place, and I think he thought that, yeah, you would have seen it because you were running
the
tunnel, but It's okay, he's been told now, and he's in good spirits. Actually, to be fair, we have to give a shout out to the team. Deegan popped his cork over the end there, like fired a huge load onto the team, the champagne going everywhere, really celebrating with the team because it's been such a massive achievement for everyone. And Deegan's had such a roller coaster of a year, and like, I mean, the team have had to G him up when things haven't been going his way, because we have said this a lot, but when you dominate in the season before, you're going to have that confidence coming in and stepping up a level, and it didn't quite work out for him at the start of the season, and he's really battled to be in the mix and had a great weekend. It's probably it must be his best weekend this weekend.
Oh, I would say, I mean, he's won his first race this weekend, and then was right there in the fight, and that's that reverse grid race. I think you're absolutely right there. I think he's had a season that is on paper below expectations, but he's had to battle hard. High Tech, we're used to seeing them at the front pretty easily every single weekend. They haven't had the pace they've had in previous years for whatever reason, but they've got on top of the car by the end of the year. They've got their drivers right there. We saw the amazing drives from Keanu Alazari, his teammate from the back of the grid. Deegan fighting for wins. He got the win in race 2, was right there in the lead a couple of times in race 3. Whether we see him back next year, I hope to see him back in the championship. If he does, he'll be a strong favourite, because I mean, just about missing out in second place. If not, he might move on to series higher as well. Who knows? But he's going to be strong in whatever he ends up in, and hopefully it's seasons. I say hopefully it's seasons like this that really form a driver's career in years to come. A difficult season like this early in your career can actually be more formative and more valuable when you get to World Championship level, because you can call on that experience when times are tough at the highest level.
I think we actually need to give a shout out to another team as well, who we haven't highlighted enough this season, I think, and that's Hill Speed. Multiple wins with Freddie Slater. Then we see Maxim Rem today as we fast forward. I know they've had other achievements, and Lucas Felicia, and there are other drivers that have been and gone. And
Kanata Lee as well.
They've had a rotating kind of list of drivers, but all of those drivers have been incredibly high quality. And for Maxim Rem in his first weekend in GB3, we joked about it before. I said that he knows this track. He stood on this podium before, but this car is brand new to him, and he just took it in his stride, and he's battling it out there with these guys that have been driving this car for 23 races before this last race, and he's holding his own and taking a race victory. And he said there at the end he would love to be in GB3 next year, and you would say straight away, if he's in a competitive car next year, then he's straight into the title picture.
Do you know what? I agree with you, and I don't think it's we shouldn't understate how difficult it is to jump into a championship as competitive as GB3 at the last round of the year, when all the drivers have been fighting all year. They know this car inside out. They've done all the races up till now. So was it 20 up till this race weekend, or 21, plus all the testing they've done. Maxim, yes, he knows the track, is a slight advantage, but to be able to extract the most out of the car, not make a mistake in quali. I mean, he was right there in qualifying, getting inside the top 12, which put him on pole position. And then that race was hugely impressive. I said it on the commentary, I'm going to say it again, because he just didn't put a foot wrong. Like, he lost the lead, recollected himself, he attacked when he needed to, he defended when he needed to, didn't make any mistakes, and held off the drivers that were fighting for second in the championship. No mean feat, and Hillspeed doing a great job, as they have done all year. Yeah,
absolutely. And of course, Patrick Hudson-Reuter there. We came into this weekend, and some people were saying to me, John, but we've already got a champion. It looks like Roden will win the team's championship, but that battle for second, you and Lewis kept us across it incredibly well there. We were watching down here, waiting for them at the top 3 in Parc Ferme. And for Patrick Hudson-Reuter, who was in the title picture, to clinch that second, that was huge for him. When we saw the celebrations over the line, we've seen all the fans, a huge cheers when he got his trophy, and we know his family and friends are here, and people who are involved in his progress were going to be super proud. And you would imagine Pat's going to go on to bigger and better things straight away.
Yeah, 100%. And you could see how much it meant to him as he came over the line, fist pumping, two extra points in a super license. Also the pride of beating another driver to second.
Vice champion, not anti-vice champion, or whatever you're going to call it. I'm sure there's a word for that.
I'm not a big fan of the word vice champion, but second place in championship, good result. Just about beating Deegan. It's a great result for the new team to the championship as well in XL.
Yeah, well, there we go. We've had a new car, new tracks this year. This really has been the year road in motorsport, and one driver in particular, our 2025 champion, Alex Ninovic, absolutely blowing us away, breaking records as he goes. And of course, we'll have another season next year with 2 brand new tracks in 2026 and an updated car that you probably saw earlier with Piers. If you didn't, you can watch back everything from the pre-show to this race to everything this season on the MSV channel where you're watching right now. And of course, check out the social media as well, where you'll see all the highlights, all the behind the scenes stuff, and all the celebrations as we round out the 2025 season in the GB3 Championship. 5 years in, and we're getting bigger and better. I am already looking forward to seeing you next April at Silverstone for the 2026 Championship.
Well, I absolutely am as well. I really hope to have everyone's company. So, a reminder to you of what we are going to have coming up next year. Of course, as they mentioned, we'll be getting underway in April. I can just see the Renault Clio Cup has had a safety car out there on the circuit as well. But yeah, some fantastic racing is going to be coming our way in 2025. I am sure it has been an absolutely brilliant season of racing and an absolute brilliant season of competition here in the GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. So it is now the moment where we reach, well, the final moments of speaking to you here in 2025. It has been an absolute honour as well. As we... There we go. Got there to the right button. Well, that brings a close to GB3 in 2025. I'd like to say a huge thanks to everyone who has made everything possible, including JB, who's provided a lot of resources for this broadcast, to Wes, to also Tom Cairns for the one race that he did and that he joined us for as well. And of course to the championship staff, to all of the drivers who've been very kind as well in terms of our commentary on their races, and it has been an absolute pleasure broadcasting. A final thank you goes to you for watching and for joining us across 2025. We'll be back to do it all over again in 2026. We have 2 more series remaining in terms of E4 and Frecker. That'll be in a week's time for their title finales. But from GB3, it has been an absolute pleasure, and we look forward to speaking to you in 2026. Got there in the end. Look, we're closing a season. I'm still so much in 2025, but I can tell you, by the time next year comes by, we'll very much be into 2026. Congratulations to Alex Ninovich on the title. Let's see who's going to follow in his footsteps next year. We'll see you then. Goodbye.